do a quick, because I don't think you saw this one, Vince. The Black Phone.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
Casey and
I
I
want to talk about that one.
Casey and I and Allie, we went to go see The Black Phone in theaters, which is a little horror movie starring Ethan Hawke, and it's definitely a good one. It was like kind of creepy. Like, I don't know exactly what I was expecting going in because I hadn't watched any trailers or anything like that. And sometimes when I think about it, I almost want to change my rating, but I'm like, no, I'm thinking retroactively. Like, I'd have to watch it again. I rated it like 3.5 stars on Letterboxd, right? Which is still like a solid movie.
Which is out of 5, right?
Out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah, 3.5 out of 10.
I was like,
and I'm
wow.
like, yeah, it's good.
Jerk. I like this movie.
No, and the thing is, I liked it, and a big reason of why I liked it was sort of like how it comes together at the end, and it's really interesting. But it's about one of the things that, as a kid, was my worst nightmare, like getting kidnapped by someone, right? And it's just, you know, a completely terrifying thing of that, and it follows the boy and who gets kidnapped. It goes along, he's kidnapped by, you know, Ethan Hawke, and Ethan Hawke as this, like, villain, what is the grabber is what they call him,
yeah,
right? He's super creepy, and he wears, like, this mask, and he wears different parts of this mask, and it is just... him being that is just terrifying. And I forget the name of the two child actors who are the main, because the little boy is the main.
Mason Thames and
Yes.
Madeline McGraw.
Yes. I don't want to sound rude to Mason Thames because he was kind of the main actor of this movie, because it was him and Ethan Hawke were a lot of the centerpiece of that going on. But what was that little girl's name? Sorry?
Madeline McGraw.
Madeline McGraw. This girl was insanely good. Like, in case you can either say you're wrong or justify it, but she was still in a good amount of the movie, and she was absolutely incredible.
Look at this mask he wears.
Yeah, I saw it in the like trailers and stuff. It
but
looks cool.
it changes, like the bottom mouth.
Really?
It's like
Oh yeah, it
I
doesn't
feel
look
like
the same as the one where he kidnaps him.
yeah, I feel like there's like a cut in the middle, and sometimes he'll have like the top part off, sometimes he'll have the bottom part off, sometimes he's wearing the whole thing.
Oh, cool.
So it like changes, and each
Sketchy
one,
as can
even
be.
though it's still the same mask, it's still super creepy. I don't know. It's just definitely like I said, it wasn't what I was expecting, but it kind of builds up in a slow way, but a super cool way, and tells a super interesting story in that sort of like, what is it, like 80s era?
Like late 70s, early 80s.
Late 70s, early 80s.
And it was in Denver, Colorado.
Yep.
It was crazy. Like this film actually reminded me of like a great. It had the vibe of a 70s film in some ways too, just with vastly better production, because we have better technology, and it had me freaked out as an adult. Like, and but it was like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, they played, like, it's interesting because, you know, there's like a whole era of parents, right? Like when milk carton kids started becoming a thing and children became getting grabbed, and like this is like the perfect example, because like America as a whole, we don't really like let our kids go anywhere without supervision anymore. But like all of our parents, they like dream about the days, and like when I was a kid, we'd play outside from dusk till dawn or dawn till dusk or whatever, and now all you do is sit inside, and it's like, it's because of what happened to you as a child, you know? And, like, we, like, it's a serious thing that happened. And, like, it gave people a lot of fears and stranger danger. And, like, it's what's interesting, like, why we love Stranger Things in a way, too, is because they're just kids out on an adventure, right? And that's kind of how this show kind of starts out, is, like, kids riding their bike down the street and then getting grabbed. It's terrifying. But I also like the idea that it kind of portrayed, not to give too much away, but, like, of the resources that can come to you in whatever weird way that they might come to you.
Yeah.
And how, like, even though through our best efforts, sometimes we might miss the best clues that are existing and happening, but also that, like, intuition exists. Because, like, one of the key parts is, like, the little girl has some intuition about what's going on, and people do or don't listen to her, and finally when they start listening to her, things kind of come together in a cool way. But yeah, that movie was crazy. I actually didn't even know what the movie was about. I actually expected it to be about, like, a black cell phone, like, to be honest with you.
Like a modern,
More of a modern twist, like more like a crime
well.
movie type thing is what I was expecting. Because,
Yeah.
like, that's what I expected. But it was so good. Actually, like, if I were to, like, rate this on a Letterboxd scale, like, out of 5, I would actually probably have given, like, a 4.5. Like, personally, because I feel like it was such good writing. It was a low budget film. It was like a $17 million film, and it scored like almost $150 million in the box office. So it was a good film. And Ethan Hawke does an outstanding job. Like, props to him for knowing how to be hella creepy. Like, and I will bleep that out, but like, it was so sketchy. Yeah, it was super good. So yeah,
Solid.
good call.
Definitely
good call.
another recommend.
Yeah, definitely something you should watch.
It left the theater so fast. I swear it was there for like 3 weeks, two or 3 weeks, and then it was gone. Or it changed so like there was like 2 showings a day, and it was like the middle of the afternoon and like 10 o'clock at night. So I missed that first opening window of being able to see it at a decent hour, 7 o'clock.
the show runtime,
that-
is reminiscent of How Long You Have to Find a Child Once They Go Missing. That's dark. I'm sorry.
But it is on my list. Like I was planning on getting to it, and then I just never found an opportunity, and now it's gone.
I would say too, that's one you could watch safely at home and not really miss too much out.
Yeah.
It's just the atmosphere of the movie is crazy.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know if it's streaming anywhere, but you should definitely watch it.
And I kind of feel that I'm like, even though I like summer, I'm getting kind of antsy for spooky season coming up, and I just love like watching horror movies.
My wife
As we
already
get to that
bought her
time of
first freaking Halloween
I
mug.
saw it's so cute though.
I've been seeing that on Instagram a lot lately too. There's 2 people that I've seen post on Instagram going into like spooky stores and like taking picture or Instagram stories of like Halloween candles
What
and
you got
stuff.
against
Like,
that,
it's
Vince?
July.
What do you want?
We should
man?
be celebrating Christmas in July, guys.
It's like, people have like whole seasons where they're kind of, it's like, oh yeah, the summer you go out and you do stuff. I'm like, hey man, like the fall, like I'm like spooky season, like why do we have to limit it to just like October? Like yeah, July like might be a little early.
Oh,
But
don't get
I'm
me
like-
wrong. There's always a time for horror movies,
That's true.
but just the spooky decorations.
September to February.
I feel like my birthday is in August, the beginning of August. I feel like after my birthday, the next important thing is really, Halloween. So why not? Just right after that then.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
getting
man.
close. All right, what's next? What are we talking about next? Sorry, I'm getting anxious.